The South Africans, of course, copped a full red for Mostert going in with an armless tackle as well, but it doesn't really matter for them, does it? They could play with nobody on the field and still win somehow. Quite incredible. But in saying that, Hadley, the Italians fired a lot of shots.
They certainly did. They looked good. And they had a good win the weekend before against Australia. And look, maybe, I think, was it 3 penalties missed in the first half as well? So the scoreline could have been in front at half-time, or it would have been 9-10 or something. And so, look, I thought they went very well. South Africa scored too late, like a late penalty and a try before half-time, and then second half, it wasn't until about the 70th minute that they ran away. Yeah, then they ran away off it. So I thought it was a good contest.
I always think, though, like, do you not just go all in? When you're playing a powerhouse, they've given some guys some opportunities. Is 3 points going to do it? Like, I think if they get those 3, like when Argentina's had success against the bigger nations, they've kicked from everywhere, but they've gone at 100%. So I think, like, you have to know you're going to get the points because you forego so much. Like, yeah, down to 14. You've got to back yourself with that attack. Monty Ioane, Kopowatso, the speed, you can't coach speed. No. They are electric. Like, I was just screaming at the TV going, not that I want South Africa to lose or anything, I don't want to get online abuse this week, so, but it's just like the opportunity's there. Yeah. Like, it's right there.
Yeah.
And I feel like it was just, I feel they missed a trick.
Yeah.
To go back-to-back, beat Aussie, beat South Africa, it would have been a hell of a story.
Yeah. Bruno, when you look at that team, the Italians, that is, the slickness of their attack, they're almost French-like in the way they make it look easy.
Oh, they were unbelievable. I think you even look at Capuzzo's try when I think it was like maybe the 60th, 65th minute, the last try that they scored. Like, they obviously saw a trend around the short side, going back down the short side, little inside balls. And I think there was actually a little bit of a line break earlier in the game where they saw that as a little bit of a plan to try and go through the heart of the South Africans. But yeah, I agree. I think who was it? It was Van Staden with a yellow card in the 51st minute when they were down to 13 men. I was just like, man, like, you're just not going to beat the South Africans taking a penalty here. Like, how hard is it to defend with 13 players and the way that they were attacking and the amount of quick ball that they're actually operating at? I just thought it was a missed chance. And, you know, probably the last 10 minutes, the game was right on the balance, as Hadley said. It was 2014 with about 10 minutes to go, but to their credit and what they're doing really well at the moment, South Africa, it doesn't matter who's playing, they're very clinical when it counts. You know, 2 tries. Brian Williams scores another try in the 72nd minute around a great quick shift to Moody, and then being able to get that ball on the inside, and then obviously Hooker's try to be able to ice it in the 79th minute with the Boks crossfield kick under pressure. You know, they were able to get the win. But yeah, a missed opportunity for Italy because even defensively as well, Chip, man, I thought defensively they were dominating the collision area in a lot of times when they were defending with the South Africans. So, yeah, I was really, really impressed with the Italians. And I think, you know, can't believe I'm saying this, but the one that kind of got away with the Italians and the way they played, they were outstanding and just were able to get the result, I guess, with not taking opportunities and a few mistakes here and there when they really needed it. And the South Africans doing what they do best, scored 2 tries in the last 10 minutes.
I think the interesting thing as well, just 2 points to build on there. First, Kopowatsu's try. You know, we spoke about last week, Brian, or the week before, around the switch swing attack is like the new, it's almost the new weapon that everyone's trying to use. And I feel like the Italians showed that picture, and that's what created that inside ball. It was a set move, definitely, because Kopowatsu wasn't even with the bird's eye view shot, which I'm loving. I'm loving the old high view. And then he comes in and injects himself. But it's cool to just see the evolution of this new sort of switch. And it's actually awesome to see Italy probably being the trendsetters to have the ball back inside is one, Bryn. And then the other one was, you spoke about the mental edge and having the ability to be composed. Like South Africa, back-to-back, full red cards. And even when it was tight, they just don't look phased. They just know they're going to win. And having that ability and belief, you know what it's like. It's just like, it's such a good feeling when you're the side that have it.
Mate, they've obviously got a huge amount of depth because they had 19 changes for that game as well. So to have that and just that amount of strength and depth that they've got, and they've gone away from just that brutality that they used to just have in a kicking game. Like, they have a lot of X factor now. They've got some players that are outstanding. So, mate, they are. Yeah, that's setting the benchmark, aren't they?
But like, Rusty will put himself out there. Like, he is genuinely prepared to lose, and he'll front and
in the name of the big picture.
Yeah, and take the pressure off players. Do you know what I mean? So like, they're not saying, but having that freedom, you know, as a player, to know that, you know, it's not the end of the world, is pretty powerful.
Well, you saw it in the second test in Wellington as well. So they lost at Eden Park and then they went to Wellington and completely changed the team altogether. And you're like, what's he up to here? And then you saw what happened. So,
But even in the first half of that, like, that wasn't going well. It wasn't working. And it's like he said at halftime, double down.
Yeah.
And then they go and score a record. You know, like, that is, he's bold. He's bold.
Man, yeah, they just are a lot more bold, and we're probably a lot more conservative, and that's probably the reason why we haven't seen changes. Haven't seen changes with the Ruben Love or people that haven't been able to play a lot of minutes, because I think the pressure of being in New Zealand and the expectation of winning every single game, Razor hasn't had that. Well, he has had the opportunity to do it, but just hasn't been able to do it, and has been way more conservative around his selections and not to what the South Africans have.
It's a tough sell to the New Zealand public, though, isn't it? It could be a maturation in our approach, but it's a tough sell.
it'd be very tough. Yeah.
It's definitely never going to be bought.
Yeah.
It's certainly not. And I'm a big fan for consistency of selection and rewarding, making it the best 23 available in the coach's opinion each week as well. But I do think this week presents opportunity for the All Blacks to make those changes.
Yeah, we'll surely see changes from South Africa too as they head into Ireland.
We'll see changes everywhere.
We'll see changes all over the place. But that looks like a cracking test. The Irish found something against Australia a little bit more than they had against New Zealand. They looked pretty strong.
Yeah, they did, and they scored some good tries. And they weren't just being direct. It was a good attacking play. Their attack's quite layered as well at times with people swinging around. They're playing a good brand of rugby at the moment.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I still probably put South Africa as favourites, just for everything we've just explained. But Ireland, you can see they were sort of rusty out of the off-season in Chicago, and now they're getting back to the Ireland we know. And Ireland's biggest strength is their defence. So South Africa and Ireland are the top two defensively, statistically across every key metric that you want. So I think it'll be the battle of the defences and who can break down each one.
Brutal.
I think Ireland will take it out, mate. Dublin will be going off.
It would be going off. Brenna, when you look at the Australians, that was the first time they'd ever conceded over 30 points against Ireland. It's hard to watch, isn't it? Because we thought they were getting somewhere.
Yeah, look, and I think, to Ireland's credit, they played a good brand of footy and been able to score points. The Australians stayed in there, but I think at the same time, we talk around with probably the All Blacks, South Africa, and the depth. Even we talked about how they talk around England, the depth that they have. It just seems, like that team has pretty much been the same team the whole year that's played for the Australians. So, whether it's a bit of fatigue and being able to have that mental fortitude to be able to stay on for the consistency for the whole year. And there's no disrespect to Australia. It looked a little bit flat and a little bit laboured. And I think Ireland, to what Jip's point was, finding their groove and not being in that first test match, which we probably got them at a good time. So a little bit disappointing, but what are they? They're 0-3, right, after the Northern Hemisphere. So one more to go, I believe, and but it's tough. That's a tough tour. It doesn't get any easier for them.
Now don't judge me for this.
Oh, come on.
I went back and watched Ireland versus the Wallabies last season, where it was 22-19.
Just because you had a couple of spare hours.
I was just interested to see. To see. And a big weapon, and as we all remember, with Suoli'i on the end of their tour, was his ability in the air.
Yeah.
And we now have a rule that you can't escort.
Yeah.
And we just don't see it. Like, I just do not understand. Like, Jorgensen, Suoli'i, you must be able to find a way to kick that thing to the heavens and get them to get the ball going. Like, I would go to it every time. I would just keep doing it. Every time, just keep doing it. It's like when they had Israel Folau. It just, I don't see how it can fail with the athletes they have. And like, Suoliti in last year's game, like, set up the tries that put them ahead, and he just doesn't seem to be used.
Yeah. Why do you think that is?
I'm not sure. I've been banging this drum for far too long, so I won't bore with the same stuff. But it just seems such a waste. And he was at centre as well last year, and they found ways to utilise him. So it's not my fixation with moving him to the edge, but.
And as a midfielder as well, like if you're kicking off 10 and kicking in the middle of the field, like there's no escorts. And I know the escorts game is out of it, but like it's more of a contest of being able to win the ball as it is at the moment kicking off 9. And I know Jake Gordon's a really good exponent of being able to kick the box kick, but geez, it could be just 2 or 3 players that are during an exit area 40-metre line-up, and they would get off the top, get Edmund or O'Connor to put it in the middle of the field. And Swiley, he's running onto it in the middle of the field, which I think is just a way more easier way to do it as well. If you can't get him on the box kick, which they probably could have manufactured in a way, kick it in the middle of the field like a Gary Owen, and good luck to you to try and win that ball when he's coming at full speed in the middle of the field. Yeah,
it's very difficult to defend that, isn't it, as the opposition midfielders, because they're coming forward as well, and then they've got to turn around and chase back after you. So it certainly is it's hard to defend that when someone does to put that little kick through there.